I'm Daniel Baum.
And I'm Rachel Dietzick, and this is Experiment 2, Decomposition.
This video describes a reaction in which copper 2 carbonate hydroxide hydrate is heated to make copper 2 oxide. This process is called decomposition because the substance is broken down into its constituents. In this case, 2 moles of liquid water are broken down into 1 mole of oxygen gas and 2 moles of hydrogen gas. In the example in the lab, H2O and CO2 separate from the original solid.
The first step in conducting this experiment is removing a crucible from the container shelf. Next, go to your instrument shelf and take down a balance. Take the initial mass of the crucible without any substance in it. Record that value. Once you have recorded the value, go to your materials shelf to get your copper 2 carbonate hydroxide hydrate and add 5 grams to your crucible. Record this new mass. After the new mass has been recorded, we can set up our Bunsen burner and position the crucible on top of it. Before you turn on the Bunsen burner, click on the crucible and select Show Contents. This will allow you to see the reactants in the crucible. You should be able to see a green substance. Now that we can see the reaction that is going to take place, we are going to heat the substance. Click on the Bunsen burner in order to put the heat on a low setting. Once you observe the compound change to a dark color, you can assume that the reaction has taken place. You will then remove the crucible and set it to the side to cool. Once it has cooled, re-weigh the substance and record your new mass. We expect it to be lighter since the CO2 and the H2O have unbonded from the solid.
This is consistent with our expectations for the experiment because H2O and CO2 broke off from the solid when they were transferred into gas form. This is the definition of decomposition. Here you see our balanced equation for this reaction. You can note that the H2O and the carbonate in the original reactant turned into water vapor and CO2 gas so that it is no longer a part of the copper 2 oxide. Looking back at the mass for our final product, we see that it is lighter than before heating. This is because the H2O and the CO2 unbonded during the reaction. This is consistent with both the definition of decomposition and our balanced reaction.